Good evening, everybody, and welcome to our health and wellness series. Ramadan Kareem to everyone who's celebrating over the season, the last week of Ramadan, especially to our guest, Aisha. To welcome you, Aisha. Aisha Abdul Qadder is a certified positive intelligence coach. She is a trainer with a master's degree in human resource management with experience in the field. She's also a co-author of the book, She Dares. Through her coaching journey, she has coached diverse individuals globally, including actors, artists, business owners, and female leaders. She helps her clients to overcome their limiting beliefs, reach their peak performance, and love themselves unconditionally. She has also worked with organizations such as Spotlight, Microloan, and the TheHCN as a volunteer coach. So welcome, Aisha, and over to you as you share with us on positive intelligence.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for having me tonight. And it's a pleasure to be here and share my knowledge with you. So before starting and sharing the slides with you, I would like to talk a little bit about mental fitness. So what is it? Basically, before starting and giving you the definition of mental fitness, I will give you an analogy of mental fitness. So let us compare it with our physical fitness. Most of us and majority of us are moderately fit physically. So it is easy for us to climb small hill without any difficulty, without getting tired. But if we are not physically fit and we don't practice and we don't build the muscles, we cannot climb a big mountain. So for climbing a mountain, we need to, be fit physically and practice. Now, if we take the same concept to mental fitness, life is full of hill and mountains. And with the current mental fitness that we have, and majority of us has, we can maybe go through small challenges, a small hill of challenge without any difficulty. But when it comes to this mountain of challenge, like pandemic that happened, we don't know what to do, we get stressed. Many people gone through depression, anxiety, and really didn't know what to do. So in this presentation, you are going to learn about mental fitness and how to prepare yourself for future challenges in life. So with that, I would like to share my screen.
I think you have permission
to can?
So.
Okay.
Yes, go ahead.
Okay, let me. Great. Okay, it's here. Can you see the screen?
Yes.
Yeah, great. Okay, let me put it on the. Okay. I think this Dr. Aisha given very good introduction of me. Thank you so much for that. So, what is mental fitness? Mental fitness is our capacity to respond to life challenges with a positive mindset. And the impact is peak performance. So we reach to our peak performance when we are mentally fit. Peace of mind and wellness, we get that inner peace within us, and we don't get, stressed during the day that much. And we go through the healthy relationship because we learn the tools in order to strengthen our mental fitness, core mental muscles. So this is a research-based study, and it includes results from hundreds of CEOs and their executives, teams, Stanford University's students, world-class athletes, 500,000 participants from 50 countries. And the program is going on at the present moment around the world. And why I say 50 countries? Because there is no difference between the cultures, race, gender. I mean, it can be applied anywhere in the world. And the research is summarized in the New York bestseller and best-selling book, Positive Intelligence, written by Shirzad Chamin, translated in 20 languages. And this is the book in case you would be interested to read it later on. And it's a synthesis of different branches of science: neuroscience, cognitive behavioral psychology, positive psychology, and performance science. So all of them are included in positive intelligence. Now, it works based on a power of factor analysis, discovering the root cause of the issues, which results in radical simplification. Now, I'd like to give you an example for that. You know that in the root of 1,000 colors that we see in nature, it's only 3 main colors, right? Can you name them? Anyone can guess? What are those 3 main colors?
Are you talking about the primary colors?
Yes.
Red, blue, yellow.
That's right. Thank you so much. Exactly. Red, blue, and yellow. So the combination of these 3 colors give us thousands of colors that we can see in the nature. Now, the result of factor analysis also reveals that there are only 3 core muscles are at the root of mental fitness. And what are they? Saboteur interceptors, sage, and self-command. Now, I'll go through each one of them, and you know, you will become aware of what are these and what are these terms. So in mental fitness, we say that we have 2 brains, left side and right side. So we say that most of our negative thoughts or sabotaging thoughts, which we call them saboteurs, they are on the left side of the brain, and there are only 10 types of them. We don't say there are 50 or 100. So the result is that there are only 10 types of saboteurs. And on the other side, it's our sage powers, which has 5 major powers. Now, saboteurs motivates you through negative emotions such as fear, stress, anger, shame, guilt, insecurity, and you name it. On the other side, the sage motivates you through positive emotions such as empathy, compassion, curiosity, creativity, passion, and purpose. So you can make the difference between these 2. Now, let me give you an example. For example, if you are working on a certain project and something you know, went wrong with that project, what happens? Basically, we get stressed, we get panic, we don't know what to do, you know, because we have a goal to achieve. So most of the time, because we are not mentally fit and our self-command muscles are not strong, we go through prolonged stress and fear. And that will take our ability to think properly and take that clear laser focused action. On the other side, when you are on the stage, or you know what happens, you get a stress for certain time, for certain period, but after that you try to manage yourself, yeah, and use the power of your sage. And we have operating system for this that I'm going to explain to you at the end of the presentation. So saboteurs, you may say, okay, saboteurs or negative thoughts, stress, they generate success to us. You know, I am here because of my, you know, negative thought. I get stressed and I know what to do. So we say that, yeah, we agree with you. Saboteurs might generate success, but not happiness. Even if they generate happiness, the happiness would be short term. Why I say that? Because we coaches, we coach successful people, we coach CEOs. They are really successful people, but they are not happy internally. On the other side, the sage generates your highest success and sustained happiness. So what are these saboteurs or saboteur interceptors? The number 1 is judge. Now, judge is the master saboteur, or the master one. And it has 3 modalities: judging self, feeling the guilt, blame, shame within ourselves after doing mistakes, after failures, and judging others, always pointing that, at others, they are bad, 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 or we usually also give the responsibility of our emotion reactions to others sometimes, And the other thing that most of people, they are not aware of is judging the circumstances. So, for example, what happens if we got late to for example, work? We say it's because of traffic jam. If something happened, during the pandemic, everyone used to, blame the pandemic for what's going on in their life. So your judge causes you to make a whole lot of assumptions about the other person's intention, and people usually feel defensive when we judge them, right? So these assumptions are often false and usually make the other person defensive. A powerful judge also causes you to listen selectively, looking only for evidence to prove your own point is right. So we are so harsh, and the judge, no one in this world can say that I don't have judge. We all have judge, but we don't recognize it. We don't realize that we have it, and it's so brutal. It's so cruel, so brutal. The characteristics of judge. Okay, and the rest are controller, hyperachiever, restless, stickler, pleaser, hyper-vigilant, avoider, victim, and hyper-rational. Now, I think from the name you can realize how they function. It's easy to know how they function. But at this stage, you may say that, okay, I know my husband is controller. I know my mother is hyper-vigilant, or my boss is hyper-rational or hyper-achiever. But what we suggest and recommend our clients is, at the beginning, we need to work on ourselves to realize what are our top saboteurs, how they are functioning, what lies they are telling us, and learn how to manage ourselves. And the next stage, we learn how to deal with the other people. And we have a test called the saboteur assessment. If we had time at the end, I'll give you the link, then we can do it. So you will get a result after, I think it won't take much, around 5 to 10 minutes, and you get the result. So you'll get the result of which one are your top saboteurs. But we don't say that. For example, someone asked me a very good question in one of my workshops, that she asked me, okay, if the victim is my top saboteur, does it mean that I am a victim? We don't say that. So if the victim is your first saboteur, it means that you happen to have a victim saboteur or sabotaging thoughts, but you are not a victim. So we don't say that these are your identities. We never say that. And also the test gives you a description, characteristics of each saboteur, how they lie to you and their lies. So you get the results on your email. Now, the next one is avoider, and avoider is thinking that life is bowl of cherry and always avoiding conflicts, challenges, focusing on the positive and pleasant in an extreme way. So what sabotaging thoughts or saboteurs do is they take our advantages or strengths and they misuse it. So they make it to the extreme. So it acts, they act against us. So avoiding difficult and unpleasant tasks and conflicts. So whereas sometimes in our relationships, we need to go through the tough talk, right? We need, in order to build the trust within each other and within the relationship. So the next one is controller. And it's basically anxiety-based, need to take charge and control situations and people's action to one's own will. So people who has the controller saboteur, they want to control everything, you know, and because we cannot control everything in our life, they get stressed, they get frustrated, you know, that, well, why I cannot control? Because this is the fact, we cannot control everything in our life. And what happens with the controller or the controller mindset is people will become so dependent on the controller. They don't, for example, in a team, if the leader is a controller, has a controller saboteur, people won't take initiatives because they are so dependent on the controller. He's always controlling everything, and his word is always, his decision is going always, you know, so we don't have any right to talk, and we don't make effort even, you know, in the work or task. So high anxiety and impatience when that is not possible. And with hyperachiever, dependent on constant performance and achievement for self-respect and self-validation. So what happened with the hyperachievers is that they link their identity to their goal. So we know that, you know, in the process of achieving goals, there are hiccups. So these people may feel like down or, you know, demotivated in the process because they are so attached to the results, to the end result, the goal. And highly focused on external success, leading to unsustainable workaholic. This kind of people, basically, their strength is they work hard. They really have this, they put the effort in what they do. That's why they feel workaholic. I mean, they are majority of time workaholic people, and they suffer from burnout most of the time. So workaholic tendencies and lost the touch with deeper emotions and leadership needs because they think that what is the use of emotions here? You know, we need to be always, you know, on time, do everything, achieve goal. This is what we need to do. The next one is hyper-rational. Now, these people may seem like cold, distant, and intellectually arrogant. The logical way, so what hyper-rational believes that, you know, the logical way is always the right way. Whereas we are human beings and we have emotions, and especially with the relationships, we cannot always be logic and rational. So you cannot logic your way through emotional issues in life. Hyper-rationals, you know, despite looking cold and distant, but they are very sensitive people. They may seem that they are very cold and all, but no, they have emotions. The thing is, they don't pay attention to their emotions. It's like having two radio stations, 99.8 and 93.2. They are in two different, emotions is here, you know, thoughts are here. They are not on the same line. That's why, you know, they may seem cold. The other one is hyper-vigilant. And I think many of mothers, they are like that. They are so anxious, you know, continuous intense anxiety about all the dangers and what could go wrong. So always like expecting wrong, I mean, danger to happen. And, you know, they can never rest, and they are in constant stress and anxiety, forcing that same level. So they communicate the same level of anxiety or to others, whereas people will get tired of that. Now, I'll give you an example of that. Imagine that there is a small village, and you are assigned to just watch, you know, outside and inform the villagers when the tigers come. So they will prepare for that. They will be prepared for that. So if you are a hyper-vigilant person, what happens? So you start your duty at 6 o'clock, let's say in the morning, and little bit movement in the bush or trees, you will run away and say, tiger, tiger. Then everyone gets stressed and they say, oh my God, tiger is coming. Then when they come back, they say, oh, there is no tiger, it was a rabbit, you know. Then after 1 hour, you sit again and see little movement again. Then you go, oh, again, you go back and say, tiger is coming. Then everyone again starting to get ready. And then when they come back, they see it's like a bird. So what happens here? What do you think? What is the relationship? What is the element that will be lost here? I cannot hear you.
Does anybody want to go, or
anyone would like to share?
You can unmute.
I would say trust.
Exactly, that's right. So people will not trust much the hyper-vigilant person. Although the hyper-vigilant person, they are guardians. They are so kind-hearted people and they care about others. But after some time, the people may think, okay, I mean, she's always anxious, you know, so they won't trust that person anymore. Thank you very much for sharing that. Yes, exactly, that's right. So that's what happens with hypervigilant. The next one is pleaser, and through my coaching, I face lots of people. I mean, many people, they suffer from this, that they cannot stand for themselves, they cannot communicate their needs, they feel bad to refuse a favor for others, they cannot set boundaries for themselves. So pleaser indirectly tries to gain acceptance and affection by helping, pleasing, and flattering others, loses sight of own needs. And that is so sad, you know, because this is something we learn since childhood, you know, in this many societies. My culture was like that. You should not refuse a favor of others. And if we refuse, we feel guilty. We feel so bad within us, you know. So loses sight of own needs and becomes resentful as a result. And even what I noticed with myself also is that when I say yes to others in the places that I should say no, again, I feel angry on myself. This is what happens. So in both sides. So it's so important and crucial to learn how to say no and really, you know, reduce the impact of pleaser within us. So the pleaser prevents you from asking for what you really want or need. And what happens, especially with the relationships, is that the second party will think that she's or he is always saying yes. I'm not hearing any no from her. What exactly going on within her? What is her need? Why she cannot say it? You know, so you prioritize others over yourself to the extreme. Now, if you say that, okay, I'm not saying yes to others because I want to please others. I'm saying it because I want to serve others. That is a different issue. But if you are like, having this people pleaser mindset, then here we need to work on ourselves. Because pleasers, also people who have this sabotaging thoughts, they have frustration. When you want to say no, but you say yes, what happens inside you? There is frustration. Oh, why I didn't say no? Yeah. So it's not okay. So the restless, these people they are so energetic people. Similar to avoider also, they try to, you know, sometimes avoid their feelings, avoid stress, avoid conflicts. So restless causes you to avoid dealing with the pain and drama of conflict. You might choose to shift your focus to more exciting and pleasant things. And if you notice people who like 5 minutes on computer, then after that checking the mobile, then going to do cooking, then coming back, and you know, I think we have lots of this kind of characters around us, and maybe we are also one of them. And be hard to pin down on issues of conflict. Now it's like someone who's searching for a will. well of water, you know. So he dig more 5 meters, then say, okay, there is no water. Then he go 5 meters forward, then he dig again 2 meters, then oh, no water, then again to the next place. Whereas maybe the water like lies 2, 5, 10 half meter, you know, where you dig. So this is the issue with the you know, restless mindset. So think about a time when you were in conflict and the other person bounced from one topic to another one, jumping. And these people, as I mentioned before, they don't want to tap into their pain. They feel like, oh, I should not go there, you know. Sometimes it happens in the conversation that we go. So this is what happens with the restless. The stickler, if you know, one of their characteristics is they are perfectionist people. They want everything to be organized. So one of the strengths of the stickler is that they are very well organized people. They can be very good event managers, you know. So the stickler sense certainty about the right way is often not shared by others. So my way is the right way, you know. When your stickler is in control, you might come across a self-righteous, rigid, or a perfectionist. So perfectionism and a need for order and organization taken too far. And in this process, what happens? We ignore the effort of others. So imagine that the person who is perfectionist enters a clinic. For example, she is a dentist. So enters a clinic. What's the first thing that, for example, let's say that she sees is what is wrong with the things, you know? Or a housewife who is a perfectionist. When she comes, she sees what is wrong, what is not tidy, instead of what is tidy, how people took effort to tidy the house, for example. You know, so we don't consider other people's effort. And the victim usually they are self-aware people, and they are high in emotional intelligence, and also they are very compassionate people. They are people who are able to inspire themselves and others. But when they take that, let's say, strength to the extreme, a strong victim saboteur causes you to take things too personally. So you take everything too personally. You get upset so fast. And one of the, let's say, sentences that they repeat is that it happens to me all the time. You know, pity me, poor me. So you might spend too much time venting and dwelling in all that negative emotions. And the other might lose their patience with you because you are always complaining. You are always like pretending that you are poor, you know, and everything has happened to you all the time. So, and opt to focus on what should be done looking forward. So this is the victim. So are negative emotions good or bad? What do you think? Good or bad?
Floor is open. Anybody want to answer?
Yes.
I think sometimes it's okay to have those negative emotions. It just keeps you in certain path. I don't know.
Yeah, thank you very much. That's right. That's good. Very good answer. Anyone else?
I think emotions, good or bad, are healthy. It's just how long we dwell in the bad that might be the problem.
Yes, that's very good answer too.
Say.
Yeah. So for that, we need to see, is pain good for us or no? What do you think? Pain is good?
It's okay to be not okay.
Yeah.
It's okay not to be okay. Okay, that's very nice one.
I think in the physical realm, you need pain to be able to physiologically survive. So for example, you know, diabetics, they have something called peripheral neuropathy if their diabetes is not controlled. So that means their nerves get damaged. And if their nerves are damaged, then they can't feel anything. And so if they step on a needle, they won't feel it, but then that needle wound might get septic and infected, and then they could lose their foot, you know. So I think the same applies to our emotions as well, that pain makes us aware of something that's underlying and then makes us take a step forward to fix the problem.
Yeah, thank you very much for sharing your insight. Exactly. So pain is good for us. Imagine putting your hand on hot stove. If you cannot feel the pain, what happens to your hand? It gets burned, right? So we need to feel the pain to be able to survive, as you said. So negative emotions are helpful, of course, but not for a long time, as 1 second, 2 seconds, as alert signal. Staying in negative emotions hurts ability to see clearly and respond with empathy, curiosity, creativity, and laser focused action. So negative emotions equal to sabotaging thoughts or saboteurs. So what is sage? Sage lives in the region of the brain associated with positive emotion, peace and calm, clear-headed focus, creativity, and big purpose. And it operates from sage perspective. And what is sage perspective? Every outcome or circumstance can be turned into gift and opportunity. So I would like to tell you stories about stallion. There was a villager who had a very strong, beautiful stallion. And he decided to participate in a competition. And guess what? Well, how it happened? His stallion won the competition because he was so strong, and you know. So what happened when he came home with the stallion? The villagers, the family, you know, relatives came to congratulate the farmer and tell him, congratulations, your stallion won the competition. But the farmer said, who knows what's good or what's bad? We don't know it's good or bad. So the thieves who heard about the story and stallion, they decided to steal the stallion. So at night they came, they took the stallion and ran away. So next day, everyone came to the farmer to say, you know, we want to say condolences. You are so sorry for what happened to your stallion. Again, the farmer said, who knows what is good or what is bad? I mean, the villager said, what he's saying, he don't know what he's talking about. Anyway, they left. Then because the stallion was very free soul and strong, he ran away from the thieves. And on his way, he became friends with mares, many of them, and they came to the farmer. And so everyone again, next day came, congratulations. Instead of 1, you have like 10, 15. That is very great news. Congratulations. Again, the answer of the farmer was same. Who knows what is good or what is bad? So the farmer had a son. And the son one day was trying to tame the stallion, and he fell down from the stallion and broken his leg. Then again, everyone came and said, we are sorry, condolences. And again, at this stage, everyone knew what the answer would be. Who knows what is good or what is bad? After a few weeks, or let's say after one week, the empire said, the war is coming and we need to take every young man for war. And when they came to the village, that small village, they saw that, okay, the leg of the farmer's son is broken. They said, we cannot take him to the war because he cannot function well, he cannot fight. So guess what was the answer again? Again, everyone came, congratulations, your son won't go to war, you know, so you're lucky. So what was, do you think, the answer of the farmer? Who knows what is good or what is bad, right? So it's the same answer. Maybe the farmer had you know, just waited for things to happen. But what we teach in positive intelligence is that it's a matter of choice, whether you want to choose your perspective to be sage or saboteur. So the question is, which perspective is true? The saboteur, this is bad, this is wrong, or the sage, this is a gift, there is a learning in this. And the answer is, whichever you believe becomes true. And that's it. So now, what are the powers of the sage? The first one, the 5 powers, right? Is the first one is empathize, which is empathy for yourself, others, and situations. And I read a few months back that empathy can be a skill also. So if we feel that we are a person who cannot empathize with others and we question ourselves, it's something that we can work on to improve. So everything can be turned into gift and opportunity. And we have 3 gifts also of sage: gift of knowledge, power, and inspiration. And we use these tools. We have certain tools that we teach our clients for that to improve the empathize power. The second one is explore. Deep curiosity wants to discover without any fear, without any judgment. Most of us, when we explore, we have expectations, we judge ourselves, right? So it's like being a kid walking at the beach, turning a rock to see what is underneath it without expecting or thinking about what it, just staying curious to know what's there to explore. And the next one is innovate. We have also games for that, yes and game instead of no but. Usually when we go through conversation, we say no but, because we want to just stay on our point of view. We want to prove to the other person that we are right. See, you are not right. So we have yes and game. So one of the innovate also tools, that what does level 10 look like? We can question that, how to deepen what we have. The next one is activate. Activate is having a calm, clear-headed, laser-focused action and taking actions that will deliver proper results, being ready for hard conversations and lean into what you really want. Success begets even more success. And navigate is really being on purpose, enables you to sort out what truly matters and what doesn't. One of the games that we use in navigate is wiser elder self. So really finding that our wiser elder self, to use it as a tool. So guides you through connecting with your deeper sense of meaning, value, and purpose. And what we do in positive intelligence is that we help people to reach to self-actualizations with the tools that we have. So most of us, we are not in commands on ourselves, right? We allow our negative thoughts to, to take the role. So PQ-Reps is one of the tools that we use. It's similar to lifting dumbbells. In order to build muscles, for example, if you see people lift dumbbells, right, just to strengthen the muscles. So we do PQ-Reps also to strengthen our self-command muscle, and we are going to do it together right now. So I want you to just sit comfortably in your chair with your spine straight and your back straight, your chest open. And your feet flat on the floor. And if you feel comfortable, close your eyes, please. So take a few deep breaths. 1, deep breath. 2, and 1 more. And after that, let your breath come to its normal pace. Now pay attention to the rising and falling of your stomach with each breath. Pay attention to the rising and falling of your stomach with each breath. Pay attention to the temperature of air with each inhale and exhale. So pay attention to the temperature of air as it goes inside your nose and temperature of air as it comes out of your nose. Now pay attention to the sound of your breath. And whenever you feel ready, open your eyes. So how it feels? Any sharing? It was very quick. Anyone would like to share?
Anybody wants to share?
Okay.
Oh, Farzana says it was very relaxing.
Okay, yeah. And why it's relaxing? Because we are taking your concentration from mind chatter to physical sensation. So we are quietening your, quieting your mind chatters. That's why you feel you are present in this moment and you feel at peace. Now, this kind of PQ or exercises slowly with time will strengthen your mental muscle and creates new neural pathways in your brain, which shows in MRI after 6 to 8 weeks. So it's very simple operating system that we have. So number one, if you are feeling negative emotions, because negative thoughts generates negative emotions. How do you know that you are on negative thoughts? When you have negative emotions. So when you are on negative emotions, you command yourself to stop. So you are on saboteur mode. You do your PQ reps, similar to what we did just now. Then what happens when you do that? You shift to sage. Yeah. And assume the sage perspective after that, that every problem can be converted into a gift and opportunity, and generate the gift by using the sage power like empathy, curiosity, creativity, and conquer or clear-headed action. So you can choose which power you want to use after that. And so the question is it really possible to just shift from saboteur to sage, respond even in tough challenges? The answer is, of course it is, but the speed and depth of shift depends on your mental muscle strength. Now, the lasting positive change requires 20% insight that you are getting in this presentation, and 80% mental muscle, where it's not a magic. We need to practice. We need to do the exercises in order to build the mental muscle. So success requires intense practice. You cannot defeat a gang of 10 bandits by sending one new fighter per day for 100 days, right? So at least 15 minutes, 10 minutes per day, 6 to 8 weeks to start building that muscle. So we have a program called 7 weeks or 6 weeks positive intelligence program. I call it 7 weeks because I usually meet my clients 1 week before the program to prepare them, to give them an introduction and familiarize them with the tools, the apps, and everything that we have. So thank you very much. That's end of the session. And if you have any questions, please go ahead. I'll be happy to answer your questions.
Do you want to stop sharing, Aisha?
Yeah, I stopped.
Thank you.
Yeah,
okay, so there were a few questions earlier on. Hi, Nongnush. We've missed you. Nongnush's question was, the left brain is the saboteur, is that correct? The intellectual brain. And then the right side is the emotional one, which is the sage.
We don't say that the left side is bad side or negative thoughts. I got the same question also in one of the workshops. We said, okay, then our left side is negative. No, we don't say that our left brain is negative. We say that most of the negative thoughts or sabotaging thoughts are in the left side of the brain. So our brain is blessing, whether it's left or right. Even the saboteurs are blessing, because without them, we don't know how to shift to sage.
Okay, so off of that question, then, like how, just because you're the expert here, how do we know that those thoughts or the saboteurs come from the left and that the sage thoughts come from the right?
I'm telling you that most of the, based on the research that has done and the neuroscience, most of the, in the practical, you know, when we live on daily basis, we don't need to think hard, you know, that what is this type, where it comes from. If you remember, I talked a little bit about the hyper-rational. So we want to be so rational, where it comes from, how it works. But the most important thing is working on ourselves to be able to manage our negative thoughts. So once we have the negative emotions, means it is negative thoughts, which is most of them are in the left side of the brain.
Okay.
Yeah.
Any other questions or comments?
Any questions?
Well, some are coming up just to comment. That was quite an informative session, Aisha.
Thank you.
It's so interesting to see the different extremes of how our brain works and functions. And I must say, I mean, does somebody have to experience a dominant saboteur, or could they have several or even all of them that attack them? Yeah.
You want me to give you an answer? That's a very good question. Thank you very much. Yeah, most of the people, they have like 3 or 4, which are the dominant one, but the judge is the major. It's there always. And what happens most of the time, it's not only one saboteur, if you pay attention to, there are multiple of them. But as I said, I mean, when you pay attention to yourself and to your thoughts, slowly you will get to know them. And many people also, they name them, you know, like someone called his judge like executioner, like, or victim, like poor me. When we name them, it's easier for us to label them. And we say that name it to tame it, right? Yeah. So when we label them, most of the time, they will go away, and you know, we can recognize them. But most of the time, being hijacked by our saboteurs and getting the negative emotion, it's a part of the process of human being, you know. But we learn slowly to manage them in order to strengthen our self-command muscle. What happens for me, for example, I'm applying this on myself as well for more than 2 years now. So what happens, I realized that certain situations that I used to get so stressed, so emotionally fragile, and that, let's say, frustration and pain within me, it's not happening anymore. And as if something became stronger in me. I don't get stressed in situations sometimes that I used to get very stressful. in the past. And of course, it's a long life journey. It's like physical fitness. We cannot say that we go to gym for 6 to 8 weeks and we are, healthy for the rest of our life. It's like lifelong journey.
Amazing. Any other comments or questions?
Very interesting session, Aisha, and thank you very much. And yeah, I think it's more on self-awareness as well. Like every single thoughts that you have, you just watch it. Like that's what you said. If there is negative thing coming into your mind, you can always shift it. If you are aware, and that's, I think, the awareness is more important.
Exactly. I love that, because this is one of my realization 2 years back was you cannot change something when you don't notice it. So you need to pay attention and notice in order to change.
That's very true. I have to agree with that. I can say I have identified with all saboteurs that were mentioned. But for me, even though I didn't have the steps that you mentioned, I feel that over my own personal journey through faith and my religion and my self-awareness and my own development, I have inadvertently learned how to do that gear shift from, having a saboteur come and tell me something and then saying, oh, wait, that's what it is. And then changing my mind to something that's more positive. And I've also found that with time, by just picking it up quicker, I'm able to do the shift quicker. And now I'm at a place where it's like almost automatic, So it's amazing that strategy has been designed for those people who wouldn't otherwise have the opportunity to have that awareness and that enlightenment and, have practical steps to start practicing it. That's amazing.
Yeah, exactly. That's create lots of change within us. For me, when first I realized that I have judged, and it was a big shift in me, and it was comforting a little bit to know that it's not me, my true essence. It's something that it's there within me, and it will not change. So all of this is the result of my sabotaging thoughts.
Awesome. If there's no other comments or questions, I'll stop recording.